Yep. What is up? Welcome to Five Stars, 5 Points. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, and I'm here with Five Star, the man with all the winning picks, as heard on ESPN this morning, in fact. But he's also bringing that knowledge to us here on this show. Five Star, pretty good week last week, right? We gave out 3 plays. Cash 3 plays, feeling pretty good. The first one was Syracuse. They caught 13 and a half. What did you think of that game?
All right, man. It was a great cover. It's a great week. What's up to my everyone out there in the wagering world? Hopefully, you guys are subscribing, and also hopefully you guys are hitting the notifications so that you guys know when I post videos or when Spread post videos concerning college football. Man, we're trying to get you guys some good information so we can get your pockets a little fatter. Syracuse did exactly what I expected them to do. They hung around. Garrett Schrader played big, just as I was speaking about on the previous show. He was a junkyard quarterback. He's able to make things happen out of nothing. And those type of quarterbacks always give stout defenses like Clemson, who are very disciplined problems. He was able to do just enough to keep us within the number. Syracuse really almost won the game. We saw how great that running back is. That freshman can play, man. He can really play. He really stood out on the tape. It made me know that he should have a very successful professional career. Being a freshman with a lesser team like he had and being able to compete the way that he did against Clemson was very impressive. And we're just happy that we were able to get that covered for you guys.
Definitely. And so that was an underdog that covered with the points. And then we laid a favorite that won by the margin, and that was Baylor, minus 6.5. What did you think of that game?
That game was a great watch. BYU receivers, man, actually they found a new receiver, Nukia, Nukia. I'm sorry, pronunciation on the pronunciation. He number 12 for BYU was a outstanding receiver. He just transferred over there. He showed up for them, man. Everyone's eyes was on Gunnar Romney, but this kid played the game of his life, and he was actually very impressive. But at the end of the day, it's just as I expected. Baylor was too athletic for him. The quarterback for Baylor was once again right on point, man. He hasn't thrown interception all year. He ran the offense. He kept them guys in the right plays. He made passing plays when he had to. The outstanding skill players for Baylor were explosive, and they just were a little bit too much for BYU. They covered by 14. And we're really happy about that, and hopefully you guys catch that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how you cover, and nothing makes a coach happier, right, than protecting that football and avoiding the turnovers. So
Yeah.
that's how Baylor was able to get it done. And then, of course, the five-star play of the day was Michigan minus 3.5. And hey, that was a game that there was not a lot of controversy, right? But both sides on my Twitter feed, right? And a lot of people on that Indiana side, felt like they had made the right play and didn't cash. But we were on the winning side with Michigan State. What did you think about that game?
That game definitely had the sharps involved.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was even
So,
money on both sides.
man, I couldn't believe some of the calls that the refs were making for Indiana. I know it was the University of Indiana's homecoming in Bloomington and stuff, and they were getting, of course, a little home cooking, but sometimes it goes a little too far. That game should have never been as close as it was, but luckily for us, we got by the skin of our teeth. When the game went off the board, I think it was minus 4.5. They ended
Right.
up winning by 5. They should have won by actually 12 or more. They got the ball back within like 3 minutes, within the 20, and Mel Tucker being aggressive. They did a play action pass, and after I bragged all this time about how their quarterback protects the ball, he makes the craziest decision ever and throws the ball, floats it into a bad pass in the corner instead of just running the ball to Kenneth Walker the third. And they gave up the interception. It almost made me collapse because believe me, on that game, if I give you guys a 5-star player of the week, whatever you're playing on it, you best believe I'm betting a mortgage on it. So it was very stressful. It was very,
Yeah.
very stressful. But luckily, we got on the right side of that game. Michigan State performed when it mattered. They didn't cover the first half, but they covered for the game. And that's all that in the end of the day that matters is us cashing that ticket, and we were able to cash it at the 5, man. Very tight game. But we were on the right side from the beginning. Michigan State was definitely the better team. Their defense made several big plays, caused turnovers. As I told you, Total wasn't able to do much in the passing game for Indiana. And Michigan State rolls on, and now they have this week off, and they're going to prepare for the Big Blue. Going to have a great game preview next week with Michigan State and Michigan playing. We'll see if Michigan State is as good as I think they are.
All right, we're looking forward to that, and we're trying to build some momentum coming off a 3-0 week. We'll jump into some general discussion, and then we will break down some games for the weekend. First of all, I mean everybody's talking about it, so we need your opinion. After changing the quarterback, is Oklahoma a national championship contender? What do you think?
Oklahoma's definitely back in it, man. Caleb Williams is the real deal. Everything that he's bringing to the Sooners is everything that they were missing with the previous starter, Spencer Rattler. He brings athletic confidence that Spencer Rattler did not have, and also he has the team. If you notice how Oklahoma, since they inserted him, the team is fired up, man, and excited every time that Caleb makes a play. So I think that Spencer Rattler lost the team, man, with a little bit of his standoffishness, his what I saw. I kind of followed him in high school. That's why I bet a lot of college football because I'm a fan of high school football just as much. And in Arizona, he had a bad name about being a little arrogant, being a little smug. And I saw a video actually on YouTube where he really disrespected a teammate, a backup quarterback, pretty bad. And it was a little disheartening. I could never see myself speaking to a teammate in any manner like that, and especially in front of other teammates. But getting back to Oklahoma, now that they have Caleb Williams in, I'm expecting big things. They already have one of the best quarterbacks, the best coaches, if not the best coach in college football. He's right there, 2A, 2B, who's ever behind Nick Saban. You got to go with Lincoln Riley. He's right up there. He's always consistent in the college football playoff. They just haven't been able to get over the hump and get into the championship game. They usually run into an SEC team. But I think Caleb Williams gives them a real chance to compete with the SEC this year. Their defense is more physical than I can ever remember. They're starting to run the ball a lot better. So definitely with the quarterback change, putting Caleb Williams in over Spencer Rattler, Oklahoma's looking like a national championship threat for sure.
All right. Well, we know that Caleb Williams has won that job, but let's talk about a job with some uncertainty around it. Who gets the LSU job? What do you think, Five Star?
Oh man, that's near and dear to my heart. I've been an LSU fan since I've been alive, so I care a lot about what happens down in the Bayou. Um, got a lot of good candidates for this job. It's just we don't know, with it being so early in the process, who will be accepting the job, or even who the boosters and the president would like to bring to Louisiana State. Dave Aranda immediately jumps out from Baylor. He's doing a great job. He has experience being a defensive coordinator at LSU. James Franklin is everyone's mouth all the time on every next big job that comes out. I've been hearing a lot of things about a lot of people in LSU would like to get him in town. Of course, people are talking about Jimbo Fisher, but he said very strongly in the media last week that he doesn't plan on leaving Texas A&M, and with the kind of money that they have to play with down in South Texas, I don't think that he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. And then my sleeper will be Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina. He's an up and coming coach, man. What he's doing in Coastal Carolina, it's been pretty consistent the last couple of years, and I think he could do something with the talent that they have in LSU. And my actual favorite would be Mel Tucker. Hearing Mel Tucker from a lot of people close to the program. See what he's doing at Michigan State, what he did at Colorado. He immediately brings a presence. He brings a toughness to the team. He coached under Saban in the glory years at LSU, so he's very familiar with LSU and the recruiting grounds in Louisiana and in the South. So I think he do really good there, man. And can you believe Mel Tucker will be the first black coach in the history of LSU football?
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I would not be surprised at all if with the times that we are in now and everybody attempting at least to correct a lot of their wrongs in the past, I wouldn't be surprised at all if LSU went with Mel Tucker or with James Franklin. So those would be my top two candidates for the job. I think they're ready to go try something different. Like I said, they never had a black coach before. I think they want to go that direction this time, and there's a lot of good candidates for them. And Mel Tucker and James Franklin, black or white, they would be at the top of the list for me. So it's a win-win for LSU if they go with either of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, big programs making some changes, right? This might be an offseason where we see a new coach at Miami, LSU, and USC. Right now, obviously,
Okay.
Miami and USC are older programs that haven't been relevant lately, but those are still big name programs that could recruit. So could be some major changes here in the college football landscape. But let's jump into this weekend. The first game, let's talk about. Hey, national championship contender, right? They got it on their mind. Cincinnati minus 28 at Navy. What do you think about this game?
Well, first of all, man, Navy just isn't that good. They're giving up 33 points on defense. They can't score. They're at the bottom of the country with total yards. They only average 56 yards a game passing, So if they get down early, it's very difficult for them to get back involved in the game. Cincinnati rolls into this game ranked the highest they've ever been ranked in their school history at number 2. We all know they're playing for something a lot bigger than just the conference championship. And in order to reach that goal, they're going to have to be impressive in those games because their strength of schedule is very weak compared to the other teams that they're going to be vying for those 4 spots in the college football playoff. They have to be impressive in every game. Each game is an audition for the committee for them. Um, I'm looking for them to cover against Navy and to win the game pretty easily. The last time that they faced was 2018, and back then with a lesser team and with Navy with a much better team, it was 42-0. Luke Fickle is a defensive genius. He's a mastermind. Cincinnati's only giving up 13 points a game. Navy already struggles to score. So he'll have. He's always played the option well, going back to his days being the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. I don't see them doing much on offense at all against Cincinnati, and I'm looking for Cincinnati to run up the score. They're trying to one, impress the committee, and two, also get Desmond Ritter, the quarterback, some recognition for the Heisman. And I remember we saw him a little bit earlier, 2,500 to 1, wasn't he, on the Heisman Trophy? That numbers went down a lot since then. And it's funny, a lot of things change after we speak. It seems like every Friday, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But the Bearcats defense, man, they lead the country in takeaways. Um, I just don't see Navy being able to do much on them. I see Cincinnati very motivated. The 4 touchdown spread should be covered by halftime, honestly. But we're going to take the game at minus 28. Let Cincinnati get into gear. We don't want the hiccup like they had a couple weeks ago when they started slow and ended up still winning by 40. But I think the first half they only were up like 3 or something. So we're going to let the whole game play out. Believe me, Coach Luke Fickle and his staff know what's at stake each game. They know that line, and they know they need to cover it in order to stay in the mix for the college football playoff. So we're going with Cincinnati minus 28.
Yeah, with the college football playoffs and the Heisman in the balance, plenty of incentive for them to keep their foot on the gas, even with a big lead. Cincinnati minus 28 is the play. Let's talk about Pitt. When I was filling this out, making it, I almost put +3. It's weird seeing Clemson here as the dog, right? I had to switch
Right.
it. So did a double take, but no, Clemson is a dog to Pitt. What is your thoughts on this game?
And actually, that's what gone up since we've spoken to minus 3.5. Uh, I expect Pitt to roll in this game, man. I was speaking about this earlier on 97.5 ESPN in Houston to Lance Zerline of the NFL Network, ESPN, and John Granada. And I was speaking to them about this game and about the fact that uh, you rarely get a time to beat the bully. And you and I know that when people get a chance to beat the bully, they don't just beat them, they stomp them. All of these years, people have been a doormat in the ACC to Dabo Swinney. And Clemson has been running rough shot over all of them. Now it's the other teams that have been good, have been waiting on their chance. This is their opportunity. They finally catch a down Clemson team. And I think they're going to take a big advantage of it. You got Kenny Pickett as the quarterback. Kenny Pickett is a super senior. He's been a starter at least 3 straight years at Pittsburgh. He's truly, when they say a man amongst boys, he's that because he's older than most of the players that he's playing. And he plays like most Pitt quarterbacks, man. So it's a pro system, and he's mastered it, man. He's averaging 28 points a game just in the first half. And also, he has 21 touchdowns, only 1 interception this year. So he's mastered the offense. As you know, their coach, Pat Narduzzi, has always been a defensive coach first. So he'll have something to slow down an already inept Clemson offense. Their passing game is struggling bad. They got all those weapons on the outside, no one to get them the ball. And because of that, the running game is also struggling. I just feel like Pitt is the better team now. And I feel like that's the reason why that line is out there. It's a hook that they're dangling. They're hoping that Joe Public pulls up this weekend and looks at the bets and sees, oh man, Clemson's getting 3 points, all over it because of the name. But if you're watching the games like you and I know, Clemson isn't Clemson of the last decade this year. They're dealing with a lot of issues, and Pitt is on fire right now, and they're going to expose them. It's going to be their chance to get back a little bit of revenge for all of those years that Clemson whooped up on them. So definitely take Pitt -3, 3.5 if you can catch it. I don't think the game is going to be within a touchdown. I think Pitt's too high power for Clemson to keep up with them.
All right, Pitt looking for some revenge. Cover the 3.5, or maybe you guys can find a rogue 3 and jump in on that. But seems like the money will stay there. Let's team. I talked about the coach on the hot seat earlier, and that's the coach in Miami. I'll tell you what, Miami fans are not happy with the job that Diaz is doing. NC State's laying 3 to them, but it's down south in Florida. What do you think?
I wouldn't care if they were playing on the moon. Miami, they aren't that good right now. And like you said, they're dealing with a controversy right now. As you know, Manny Diaz, man, every time you see him, I feel so sorry for the guy. Every time I see him on the sidelines, man, it looks like he's about to explode at any moment, man. He's got so much pressure on him. He's a native Floridian. He's trying to bring back, the Miami that I'm sure he grew up as a football fan watching and, want to kind of reenact that. But it's not 1980, man. It's 2020s, and obviously they're having a difficult time getting back on track. De'Aaron King, who's the transfer from Houston, got hurt again. They put all their marbles in him this year and last year. In both years, he's been injured. He's kind of undersized, and they put all their trust in him being able to get them to where they want to go. They have the right type of receivers. They're still missing the trigger man with King down. Their backup, who was actually pretty good, transferred to Florida Atlantic. He had a big game last night in the win. Now they're dealing with the freshman Van Dyke. The kid has some potential. He's played good in mop-up duty, and he's played good in second half in games that have been a little bit out of reach. He throws a good deep ball, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't have enough experience, man. When the blitzes are coming, they're getting confused on, some high-level defensive calls by some great defensive coordinators in the ACC. He just hasn't been able to hold up. I like North Carolina State a lot this year. Dave Doran is doing his thing. He's consistent. They're always tough. They're good against the run, great against the pass too. They run the ball efficiently. They got two running backs, Zonovan Knight, Ricky Pearson. Both of them are nice. Devin Leary's complete 67% of his passes, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And another thing that was very intriguing to me was that in the local press, Dave Doran was saying that when they asked him about the spread being 3 points, he said that he felt like the spread was a little low and that his team, no one thinks they're good and they weren't getting any respect. I love to hear that, as a bettor when the coach is watching the line. So I think he's out to prove a point. Last year, NC State had Miami. They were up 10 points in the fourth quarter, blew the game, allowed Miami to pull out a victory. They have a lot on their mind. They're going to take advantage of Miami being down. Too much pressure on Diaz. I don't even know how they're practicing right now. Everything's just so stressful, I'm sure, with everything he's doing because he knows that he's a lame duck, that his days are numbered. And I'm sure it's just a hard time being a coach right now in Coral Gables. So I got to take NC State, the more consistent actual football team the last 5 years. NC State -3 at Miami. Like I said, I like Dave Doran, and I expect them to roll.
It's nice to see a coach be honest about it because, in my mind, right, if you're at these big college football programs, those same boosters that are giving 6 digits to your program, they're also betting on your program on Saturday, right?
Correct.
So
Exactly.
they try to act ignorant, but they know that these same boosters are putting some money down on the team to win and cover. So it's nice to see them be honest. Let's break down the game that will involve the pick of the week, and that's BYU at Washington. Heading out west, this will be one of the later ones. What are you thinking of this game to close down our Saturday night?
Well, okay. Actually, this was going to be just the first half only spread. It'll be
Right, I know. I got that for the pick of the week. We'll get
okay.
out there, but just
Okay.
break down the game, and then I got the last graphic that will show what the play is.
Okay. Yeah. Let's not bet. I just don't want my guys out here who find us and ladies to pick the wrong pick. We're going with first half. BYU minus 2.5 against Washington State. I know you guys all heard about the very fragile situation that's going on up in the state of Washington with Nick Rolovich and his four sisters were fired Monday for failing to follow the state's mandate on vaccines. Two of the sisters fired was his co-offensive coordinator and his quarterbacks coach, and the other one was the offensive line coach. Washington State have already been struggling on offense. They only averaged 10 points in the first half. And then now you have the offensive line coach out, the quarterback coach out, the head coach out. All of the controversy. These are kids, man. There's a bunch of questions going on. I'm sure the team is divided. I'm probably sure that some of the team is pro-vaccine. Other parts of the team is probably anti-vaccine. So that alone is just a lot to deal with for young men and for a program. Last week, Washington State won its third straight game. Won the last minute afterwards. They celebrated with Rolovich as if they knew it was over with. They pretty much gave him a Gatorade shower and hugged him. And pretty much knew that he was about to be fired. I know these guys are close to these coaches, man. He probably recruited a lot of them. He had been doing a great job after he left Hawaii, going to Washington State. I'm sure he had some great personal relationships with those kids. I just can't see how Washington State's head can be in this game. At least the first half starting out. They have to be in the days right now. The first game without their head coach, without the leader. BYU, we faded them last week, as we said. They got beat by 2 touchdowns. It was their second their second consecutive loss of the season after winning 5 straight. Coach Sataki's a winner. He's tough. He's tough-minded, so I know he's been on his kids all week. As I told you, they developed a new weapon and their receiver, Nuchua. And he has a brother, Samson, who's also on the team that's explosive. So now they have 3 receivers, along with Gunnar Romney, that are all threats to score at any moment from anywhere on the field. I think they're going to be very motivated after the loss last week. So BYU starts fast. They average 17 points in the first half per contest. I see BYU getting off early. Field goal is a very short number to cover early, especially with all of the stuff that's going on up in Washington State, man, with the kids and with the coach getting forced out. And he's also suing the school. So it's a lot happening right now. Take BYU first half, minus 2.5. Lock it in now. It'll be 3 before the game starts.
All right, and that is the 5-star pick of the week. 2-1 for us on the show on the year, and looking to go to 3-1, and hopefully BYU can get the cover and we can keep this momentum rolling. We were undefeated last week, so the expectations are high, but I have confidence that we're going to have another great showing this week. So for everyone, just a quick wrap up. Cincinnati minus 28 at Navy seems a lot to lay, but they do have an incentive to score as many points as possible,
That's right.
highest margin of victory as possible. That's the reasoning behind there. Pitt minus 3, like 5-star said. Hey, these guys have been beat up by Clemson. Now it's revenge. Pitt covers that game, and then same deal. We're taking a program, a once great program, kind of on the decline, and we're fading them with an up-and-coming program. NC State minus 3. The pick of the week, BYU minus 2.5. 5-star. You got anything else for the people before we get out of here?
No, guys, just subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Spread's channel, man, so you can get all of the latest information that we're posting. We got all of the best college football plays for you guys. And the most important thing about it, it's all for free, man. The book page, I don't need anything from you guys. I just want you guys to win and have good information when you're going to make your bet at the window or on your phone. And just continue to support the program that we have. And follow us on Twitter at 5-star in Vegas. That's FIVE. Spell it out. And I'm also, as Spread said, on 97.5. Today I was on a Friday because of scheduling difficulty. But usually I'll be on Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard Time and at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you guys tune in, get some more information. And you can always get the information, like I said, on Twitter and on YouTube at 5-Star Sports Investing. Let's go, man.
Thank you for all the information. Thank you for the good plays. We'll see you.